All right, boys. So today's a short video idea I had based on kind of an imagination or a visual that was somehow implanted into my mind, but became a very powerful and impactful kind of image that helped me understand, conceptualize the gravity, the magnitude, and the severity of this discussion between heaven and hell. So obviously this what I'm going to discuss is mostly just my imagination. I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but it's there, and that's what I'm going to discuss. But there is scripture to back it up, in this case being Matthew 7:13 to 14, which reads, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only few find it." So I just wanted to include that there, but I'm no theologian, and that's not my focus of the video. Basically, I don't know where this image came from. I don't know if I saw a photo or I heard somebody talking about something similar that really sunk this into my head. But I think it is a very vivid and powerful vision that for me was very helpful, and you could argue in a negative way. This was a very kind of confronting image that I think could be helpful to others, because it was to me. And like I said, you could argue in a negative. It did put a little bit of the fear of God on me the first time that I visualized this. So basically, what are we talking about here in the scriptures? It's talking about the wide path and the narrow path that leads to heaven and the wide path that leads to hell. So when I'm thinking about the scale of however many billion people we have on this planet now, and the scale of the amount of people that are dying every day, and the spiritual warfare that we, if for anybody who's paying attention, are confronted with on a daily basis, I think this image at some point just got implanted into my mind that was like, imagine the biggest music festival you've ever seen. I don't know if it's Tomorrowland or I've never been to a music festival of that scale and size, but obviously you see a lot of images online if you haven't attended one yourself. Imagine think of center stage, think of whoever the main DJ is, set, whatever it is, and the sheer capacity and numbers in terms of width. We're talking maybe 50,000 people. I don't know how high these go up to, 70,000. Maybe I'm making things up. Or think of even, what was that one back in the day? Some livestock, I don't know. Back in the day, but they used to have probably 100,000 people there, I think. I'm just making numbers off the top of my head, but, forgive me. Think about the sheer breadth of this scene. Now, envision this amount of people in width, but it's on maybe you have a higher vantage point on a mountain or something, and you can see far off into the distance to the horizon. And imagine a line the size of that, but branching off into the distance over the horizon as far as the eye can see. I don't know where, like I said, I don't know where that came from, but that's my image of this scripture, this verse, when it says wide. Broad is the road that leads to destruction, and small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life. And I somehow envision in my mind a little narrow snaking path in between some valleys with some trees on either side. And when we're confronted with this image, when I was at least, if I look around at the influence in the world, the way that the society is structured, the way that the media portrays things, I was kind of shocked by that. If we really take the scripture at its word and we think about the scale of something like that, we think about the pure mayhem of that, just think of a music festival, the filth and the sweat but imagine this is a road that leads to hell, to an eternity in destruction, pain and torture and everything in between. I think it's a powerful image. So obviously, I don't know if you want to believe it or not. That's up to you. A lot of people argue, yeah, come on, it wouldn't be, that's just a fantasy. Whether if you believe that, if you think that it's no more real than, whatever, Azkaban, the Lion and the Witch in the Wardrobe, or if you do think it's real, what are the consequences we're talking about here? Because if in the off chance that it is real, and you believe that, and you start to structure your life around that, what have you done effectively? You've basically just become a better person as a result. That's all. Whereas if you're wrong and you choose to ignore such a statement or such a concept or the real possibility that that does exist and that 90 whatever percent of people are headed in that direction, do you want to go? I don't. I can only say that for myself. I don't. So, marinate on that, I would say. I did for months and months and months, and it didn't get any better. It only got worse, I would say. So, maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a little bit too confronting of an image. Maybe people clicked off this video minutes ago. But I found that helpful for myself, and that's kind of where I'm going with this channel. I'm trying to put out there concepts and ideas that aided me in some way or another. So, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to hear feedback. I love to have my ideas challenged. Maybe someone says this isn't biblical. I don't know. I'm open to that. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. At the end of the day, we're all in this together. I'm mainly speaking to men here. I feel I come from that perspective more. I can relate to it more. But women more than welcome as well. So, all right, boys. Look forward to hearing your feedback. God bless.